Alright, y'all. So I debated on telling this story primarily because, I mean, it's still kind of traumatic based on the circumstances of the story. Um, but for girls moving out on their own and you don't have roommates or anybody that's consistently living with you, I think it's important for me to tell this story so you can be aware of your surroundings, because I realize that a lot of girls don't really pay attention to a lot of stuff these days. And that's important. Okay, so the story kind of kicks off with me living in my apartment. So in my apartment, it was me by myself. I was the only person on the lease. I paid the rent. It was my place by myself. I did have a boyfriend at the time. He was kind of come and go, and we were kind of on and off. Um, but at this time, I think we were more consistent than anything. Now, there's a lot of different parts to this story, so I know there's going to be additional questions, but I'm going to just tell it like this right now. So, I had, when I first moved in, we had an original maintenance guy. Loved him. He was amazing. I never had no issues. He gave me kind of like me vibes, like very antisocial, but very like, hey, if you need me, I'm here, but don't really like hit me up if you don't need me. And that's very much how I am. I don't bother you if you don't bother me unless I need you, right? That's your job. I need you to come through. That's it. Like, we don't have to be chummy chummy. I don't need that. Well, at some point, he had been let go, and there was a new person that we started to see. Now, mind you, premise, me and my cousin lived in the same apartment complex, and me and my cousin are very, very close. We're super close. That's like my sister. She's like my big sister. She lived literally across the yard, so I can see her apartment from mine. She had a back patio area. I did not, because I had a 1 bedroom. She had a 3 bedroom. So there was a difference in how the apartments were set up. So she had a back area. I did not have a back area. Okay, so once the old maintenance guy got fired, we started to see a new maintenance guy. Now, for me, because I really worked a lot of the daytime hours, I never really had to deal with maintenance. I was never really home unless it was something crazy. But other than that, I never really had to have calls with maintenance, so I was familiar with the first guy. Um, but I never had to have interactions with the second guy. But my cousin, she did, because she had a lot of issues with her apartment. Her apartment had more bedrooms. I'm sure it probably was older. So I don't know. Not my ministry, but that's what was going on. She was more familiar with the new guy than I was, right? So one day, I think, so there was a couple of girls that lived by us that we were really cool with and we hung out with on a regular basis. One day we were outside kind of like drinking, and it was a good day. We were chilling. Like, I wasn't super drunk. We had fun. We were outside chilling or whatever. Before that, it was a couple of days that I seen the maintenance man just sitting beside the maintenance shed in his car, just like sitting there. Honestly, if you looked at it, like coming from where my perspective, I'm like, it looked like he's like just casing like the apartments, or he's just watching to see what's going on. That's kind of what it gave me. But the maintenance shed was literally right there, so it's like either he's just watching, or he's just sitting here in case somebody call and he's right here by the shed. I don't know him to determine either or at this point. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. So back to the one day we're outside and we're chilling. Now, mind you, I think that same day I might have left out and I came back in. Our apartment complex is one way in, one way out. Right? So if I'm going to my apartment, I have to pass the shed. I don't have to, but the normal way I go, I pass the shed. I seen his car sitting in front of the shed. I didn't think anything of it, but also I always think this is weird, because why is he never working? Why is he always just sitting in front of the shed? But my apartment is not within eye distance of the shed. So makes me no difference, but I think he's weird, right? Oh, sorry, guy. I got to go back a little bit before that day. So before that day, I had a clog in my shower in my apartment. So my shower was actually, it was clogged up. I couldn't get anything down, so it was more like a tub than a shower, right? So I put a ticket in, did the regular, put a ticket in. That day I happened to be babysitting my cousin's kids across the yard from me. So he came into my apartment, and some of the things he said when he came into my apartment were kind of alarming, and it didn't make sense to me until after. But y'all, if y'all want the rest of the story, come back and let me know.